Have you ever had one of those nights where you suddenly realize that you don't want to talk to anyone anymore? You don't want to explain what you're doing, you don't want to hear anyone's advice, and you don't even want people asking whether you're okay. You just want to disappear for a while, shut everything down, and come back when you've finally figured yourself out. Maybe it happens after a failure. Maybe after a breakup, losing money, falling behind in life, or simply realizing that you've spent years becoming someone you don't even recognize anymore. And what's strange is that the urge to disappear can feel almost peaceful. You don't necessarily want to run away from your life. You just want to get away from the version of yourself that everyone else has become familiar with. Because when people know you for a certain version of yourself, changing becomes harder than it looks. Your friends remember your old habits. Your family remembers your mistakes. People have already created an image of who you are, and even when you decide that you're going to change, the world around you keeps treating you like the person you've always been. That's when being alone starts feeling less like loneliness and more like freedom. But there's another reason people suddenly want to disappear, and it begins with something that seems completely harmless. Telling people what you're going to do. Imagine it's late at night and you're lying in bed thinking about your life. Suddenly, you get this powerful burst of motivation. You decide that tomorrow everything changes. You're going to wake up early, start working out, study seriously, fix your finances, build the business you've been thinking about, stop wasting time, and finally become the person you've always told yourself you could be. For a few minutes, the future feels so real that you can almost feel the satisfaction of having already changed. Then you tell someone. Maybe you message your best friend. Maybe you tell your family. Maybe you post something on social media about entering a new phase of your life, and the response feels good. People encourage you, tell you they believe in you, and sometimes they even admire you for finally deciding to take yourself seriously. For a brief moment, you get something that was supposed to come after months of work: recognition. And that's where the trap begins. Because your brain doesn't always care whether the reward came from actually accomplishing something or from simply imagining yourselves as the person who accomplished it. You talked about the new version of yourself, people reacted positively, and suddenly you received a small taste of the satisfaction you were supposed to earn through execution. The next morning, however, the fantasy disappears and the work remains. The workout is uncomfortable. Studying is boring. Building something from nothing takes longer than you expected. The motivation that felt unstoppable at midnight now feels surprisingly weak. A few days pass, then a few weeks, and eventually the person you told about your goal asks the most innocent question in the world. So, how's it going? Now you have a problem. You aren't just dealing with the fact that you haven't done the work. You're dealing with the person who believes you were supposed to be doing it. So you explain yourself. You say you've been busy. You say things didn't go according to plan. You tell yourself you'll start properly next Monday. And slowly, something that began as genuine ambition turns into another unfinished promise sitting somewhere in the back of your mind. This is one reason silence can be so powerful. When nobody knows what you're building, you don't have to perform progress. There is no audience waiting for an update, and no image of yourself that you have to protect. You can't impress anyone with your intentions because nobody knows them. The only way to feel successful is to actually make progress. And that creates an uncomfortable question. If nobody would ever know about your transformation, would you still want to transform? If nobody would congratulate you for waking up early, would you still wake up? If nobody would see your new body, your money, your career, or your discipline, would you still put in the work? Because sometimes what we really want isn't success. Sometimes what we want is the reaction that comes with success. We want the people who underestimated us to realize they were wrong. We want the people who ignored us to notice us. We want the person who walked away to regret leaving, and without realizing it, we make other people's reactions the hidden purpose behind our goals. That's why disappearing can become psychologically powerful. You remove the audience, and suddenly you're forced to discover whether you actually want the life you're chasing or whether you simply want to be seen having it. But this becomes even more important after failure. Private failure is painful, but public failure carries another layer of pain. When nobody knows that something went wrong, You can take your time. You can make mistakes, rethink your decisions, and quietly start again. But when everyone knows, suddenly your failure has an audience. People start asking questions. They check on you. They offer advice. They tell you that everything will work out. Most of them may genuinely care. But when you're already struggling with embarrassment or shame, even good intentions can feel like pressure. Every question reminds you of the thing you're desperately trying to stop thinking about. Are you doing better now? What's your plan? Have you figured everything out? To them, it's just a conversation. Inside your head, it can feel like you're being monitored. And that's when you start wanting to disappear. Not because you're antisocial, not because you hate everyone. You simply want a place where you can rebuild without having to give progress reports. You want to make mistakes without someone knowing about them. You want to experiment with a new version of yourself without having to explain every change to people who already have an opinion about who you are. Because rebuilding yourself in public creates pressure to look like you're rebuilding yourself correctly. You start worrying about whether you're moving fast enough. You compare your progress to other people's lives. You become conscious of how your transformation looks from the outside. And instead of focusing entirely on becoming better, part of your mind starts focusing on proving that you're becoming better. That's exhausting. Real transformation is usually much less impressive than people imagine. It isn't waking up at 4 a.m. every morning with perfect motivation. It isn't drinking coffee in a dark room while reading a book about discipline. It isn't a cinematic montage where every day feels meaningful. Most of the time, it's boring. It's doing the same thing when nobody cares. It's going to sleep instead of scrolling. It's working when you're not inspired. It's studying when nobody is checking your grades. It's saving money when nobody knows you're trying to become financially independent. It's going to the gym when your body feels exactly the same as it did yesterday. And because there is no immediate reward, your brain starts asking whether any of it is working. That's the dangerous middle. The beginning feels exciting because you're making a decision. The end feels rewarding because you can finally see the results. But somewhere between those 2 points is a long stretch where nothing seems to be happening. Your old life is no longer satisfying, but your new life hasn't become real yet. You are stuck between 2 versions of yourself, and that is where most people go back. They return to the old habits because the old habits are familiar. They return to the same distractions because those distractions provide immediate comfort. They reconnect with the same routines because at least they know what those routines feel like. The old version of themselves may have been unhappy, but it was predictable. The new version is uncertain. You don't know whether you'll succeed. You don't know whether the sacrifices will be worth it. You don't know whether the people around you will understand the changes you're making. And you don't even know whether you'll recognize yourself when the process is finally over. That's why the hardest part of rebuilding isn't starting. It's continuing after the excitement disappears. Because eventually, the phone becomes quiet. The notifications stop. Nobody asks how you're doing anymore. The people around you continue living their lives, and for the first time, you realize that the world doesn't stop just because you're trying to rebuild yours. That can hurt. You may see other people moving forward while you feel like you're standing still. You may watch someone else achieve in 6 months what you thought would take you years. You may start wondering whether you've isolated yourself for no reason. And that's the moment when your brain starts offering you an escape. Just go back. Nobody even notices. What's the point? Maybe you were happier before, but there is something your brain isn't telling you. You don't actually miss your old life. You miss the certainty of your old identity. The old version of you knew what to expect. The new version doesn't. And when the human mind is forced to choose between an uncomfortable unknown and a familiar problem, it will often choose the familiar problem. So the real battle isn't between you and the people you've disappeared from. It's between you and the version of yourself that wants everything to remain familiar. And once you understand that, the silence begins to feel different. It stops being a punishment. It becomes a space where the old identity can finally lose its influence. But there's one thing you have to be careful about. because you can disappear from everyone around you and still carry every one of their opinions inside your head. You can delete the apps, stop posting, stop explaining yourself, and still spend every night imagining what people would think if they could see you now. That isn't freedom. That's just isolation with an audience living inside your mind. And until you learn how to remove that audience too, disappearing won't actually change you. It will only give you a quieter place to remain the same. The strange thing about having an audience inside your head is that even when everyone else stops watching, you can still feel watched. You can sit alone in a quiet room and replay conversations that happened months ago. You can imagine what people would say if they saw your life now, how they would react if you succeeded, and whether the people who doubted you would finally admit that they were wrong. And without realizing it, you are still living for people you aren't even talking to anymore. That is the point where disappearing has to become something more than simply withdrawing from the world. The goal isn't to become unreachable. The goal is to become less dependent on being seen. There is a huge difference between hiding because you're afraid of judgment and becoming quiet because you no longer need everyone's approval to move forward. Once you understand that difference, something changes in the way you approach your life. You stop making dramatic announcements. You stop explaining every decision. You stop giving people a detailed report of what you're planning to accomplish. Not because you're trying to become mysterious, but because you're finally protecting something that hasn't become strong enough to survive outside opinions yet. Think about a seed. Nobody digs it up every morning to check whether it's growing. You put it in the ground, give it what it needs, and leave it alone. The growth happens where nobody can see it, and your identity works in a surprisingly similar way. Some of the most important changes in your life need a period where they aren't constantly being exposed to other people's opinions. That doesn't mean you should cut everyone off or turn isolation into a lifestyle. Real life still requires relationships, responsibilities, and people you trust. The point is simply to stop turning your entire life into public information. There are things you can keep private while still being present in the world. When someone asks what you've been doing, you don't need to explain your entire 5-year plan. You can simply say that you're working, focusing, and taking things one day at a time. You don't need to tell everyone about the new routine you're building, the business you're planning, the money you're saving, or the person you're trying to become. Let those things exist without an audience for a while. Because the less you explain, the more energy you have available to execute.